Okay, last section in this particular chapter, okay? And it's basically parts of similar triangles. And there's 3 different theorems that we have to deal with here, okay? I want you to be able to see the examples, okay? They are in the text, okay, on the very first page of the chapter. You'll be able to find a couple of them on the worksheets, which are available to you in files. Also, the notes I've provided have examples of them, and they are also in the PowerPoint. Okay, so you've got all of those opportunities to see real visuals, in addition to the examples we're going to do here. But I want you to understand that they're there, okay? And they will all come down to this note you saw on the photos for the last section, okay? This is the most important part of the entire chapter. Being consistent when you set up a proportion, okay? Yes, it's important, okay? You remember that, you're going to be okay. Okay, yeah, we're already on examples. Okay, I'm going to start with find x. Okay, let me see if I can get you where you can actually see numbers too. Hello. Okay, so we're looking for x. So right here, I've got the altitudes, so that divides it into 2. Okay, we've got angle, 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 angle. We're set. Okay, I'm just going to go something as simple as 30 over 32. Okay, 24 over x. You can do that. We've got a lot we can deal with. Okay, so I'm going to go altitude over altitude. Side over side. Okay, yes, we can simplify. You're going to notice in today's examples, a lot of fractions. Okay, so in this one, we can simplify this to simply 4 over 3, because 8's a common factor. Now it's easier to multiply. Okay? Okay, that's it right there. Down here. Now we've got a median. Okay, and those are in business. So I'm just going to go median over median. Okay, and you're going to ask, when I was doing this, why did I choose to put this over this, this over this? And this is just an experience thing. I have realized over time, if I can find numbers that fit properly, that are easy to simplify, it's going to make the problem easier. Instead of having to multiply by 32, by 24, and then dividing, I've only got to deal with 4 and 3. Okay? Down here, 39 and 26. You'll notice both of those have 13 as a factor. So that gives me 3 over 2. Once again, easier numbers to deal with. Okay, and there's 16 and 2/3. Okay, for our next one, once again a median and 2 similar triangles again. Pretty easy to deal with here. Okay, so on this one I just said 40 over 25, because that's also going to be easy to simplify. Let me bring you along here. Okay, so we'll do it that way. All right. Okay, and that simplifies to 8 over 5. Okay, don't forget to distribute. simplify. Okay, remember, 8 times both, okay, 5 times both, and then we just solve for x. Now this one we see is in one triangle. We have x, but we don't have this. If you think about it, okay, let's just, instead of x for a second, let's just use an example of a number. If this entire length is 28, and this is 10, excuse me, and this is 10, how do I find that? Well, 28 minus 10 gives me that. It doesn't matter what number x is. This is going to be the entire length minus that length. Okay, then no. So in this case, this is going to be 28 minus x. Okay. So, again, 20 over 30, I know that's going to simplify very easy for me. And to be consistent, since I went this over this, I stay this over this. Okay, that becomes 2/3. Okay. Once again, do I have to simplify? No. Does it make it easier? Yes. Okay. And those of you with calculator dependency, that's that right there. So there's the 4 basic types of problems right there, okay? I think they're pretty straightforward for you once you set up your proportion. And your proportion is going to be easier if you remember to be consistent. Okay, now here's 2. Now, these look like this, where they give you the numbers. I go ahead and put them onto the diagram because I think it's easier to see. Okay, I know it is for me. Okay, so I've got altitudes. I'm told that they are similar triangles. I need to find PR, so that's where I put my x. Okay. Altitude over altitude. Side over side. Okay, this one's not going to be all that simple to deal with, but once again, this is purely calculator math right here. That times that times that. So I've got 18x equals 441. Divide both sides by 18. Okay. Down here, dealing with altitudes. Once again, we know, and remember, this is important. This is the triangle, this is the triangle. The dotted line is an auxiliary line. It's just there because that's on an obtuse triangle, are you going to find your altitude? Okay? So in this case, I said, okay, I'm going to go altitude over altitude, side over side. Okay, and on that one, I made it a W because I've already got an X in the problem. Okay, once again, calculators out. Okay, and that's just a matter of being careful plugging numbers into your calculator. That's it. Okay. Our last problem today. Okay. I have a camera, okay? Yes, I am a camera guy. I'm worthless taking pictures, but, okay? In which the distance from the lens to the film is 24 millimeters, okay? If I take a full-length picture of my dogs and cat, that's Stevie, that's Baby, that's Boots, okay? From 3 meters away, okay? And the height of the critters is 140 centimeters. Okay, she's a chunky monkey, okay? She's kind of round. Round's a shape, so she's in shape technically. Okay? And that's 140 centimeters. What's the length of the image on film? So this is what I'm looking at. Folks, we can think of this as two similar triangles. I've got right angles here. We're set. Item number one. I am going to turn all of these into the same unit of measure. Remember, common units of measure. Okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, the easiest way to do it, Google it. Okay? It's going to make everything real easy for you. There's converters. You can turn meters into feet if you need to. I just go with these. And it's multiply by 10 or divide by 10. It's simple, but do it. That's the smallest unit of measure, so everything's going to be in terms of millimeters. Okay? So, 140 centimeters is 1,400 millimeters. 3 meters is 3,000 millimeters. Okay? Now I can set up my proportion. Okay? So in this case, I'm going to go height over height. Okay? Distance, distance. Okay? I'm going left over right on these. Okay? Okay, 3,000. Folks, this is purely calculator right here. I wouldn't even think about doing it otherwise. Now we've got everything lined up for us. Okay? Those are the examples for today. This is what you're going to be dealing with. Okay? If you're not sure, ask questions, okay, when you're working on your assignment. Okay? Very good.